Awesome. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast. You've been all over the world and have had so many unique experiences. Can you talk about, what city you were born and
Mhm.
your musical journey?
Yes, sure. I was born in Buenos Aires, capital of Argentina, and then I moved to Europe, Switzerland, and 15 years ago I moved here to California. So yes, I've been in 3 different countries, and okay, growing up in Argentina, I guess, was very interesting as far as culture and music. The Argentinian rock was very strong in the 70s. And of course, it was in Spanish. So that was a very strong cultural movement. The first one in Latin America to be Spanish rock. And so that was the music that I was listening, also to English rock or American rock. And we talked about tango a little bit the other day, and because I write some tangos and I sang tangos in Europe. But when I was growing up, I actually regarded tango as old music. My dad used to whistle tangos and sing tangos, and I was like, that sounded old because it was already like 2 or 3 decades old, and it didn't sounded current. So but it was there in the background. We grew up with it. And then you want me to keep on talking about my
Yeah.
journey? Okay, so I also experienced growing up with dictatorship, and that did have an impact in music. Censorship was was strong for musicians too, because rock was regarded as subversive. So the musicians kept on going. There was a very strong underground movement anyways, and they found ways to codify their message and and not be obvious. So and then came democracy and the new hope, and music flourish, and symphonic rock, blues rocks, all kinds of rocks. But actually, I was not a musician in Argentina. I was a theater actress. I went to theater school, and I acted in a couple of plays. We toured throughout Argentina. But voice was always a passion for me. I remember being in theater school and having those working on the resonance of the speaking voice and working on monologues. That was one of my favorite things. So then I moved to Europe, and I thought, how am I going to be an actress in Switzerland? It was radical, completely different language. Actually, they spoke a dialect, and I had to learn German. So I was learning High German in school, while I would hear people talking in a dialect. So everything was completely disconnected and weird, trying to adjust to a new lifestyle, new culture, different weather. Of course, it was very cold. and so I started to gravitate towards music and find that I realized that I wanted to dedicate more time to music, because otherwise acting would be something very only with a certain group of people that spoke Spanish. But besides that, I was already playing guitar and playing piano and connecting with different musicians, and so I started a band, and I started to sing tango, Brazilian music, Argentinian folk music, the music that I thought I could relate, or that I knew the best, and that people would have a kind of an appreciation for. And that was my journey in Europe.
Yeah, if we can just take a step back for a bit.
Yes.
How did you realize that you had a talent for music? Did someone encourage you? How did you find that?
As I said before, when I was in theater school, I was very inclined to work on my voice.
Mm-hmm.
And I was also taking some singing lessons and singing in a choir. It was a pop gospel choir. So I was always doing some kind of things, not too serious, but I thought I had a good voice.
Mm-hmm.
And some people told me, though I was very shy to sing only, but I thought I was okay. This is crazy. My first gig in Switzerland, in Zurich, I put together a repertoire. I hired a musician, and I thought I can do this. I'm already an actress. I have experience on the stage. I feel very comfortable on the stage. I know how to use my voice. Let's do it. And then when I did the gig and I realized all the musical things that I needed to learn because I got lost in one part, on the other one, I don't know, I changed the key, all those things that that I didn't realize when I was rehearsing with the guitar player. And then I realized, oh my gosh, there's so much I need to learn. I know nothing. It was just having a stage experience is nothing compared to the whole world of music that I need to learn. And so that's how I started. I kept on going, studying music on my own. I started learning theory, and I had a guitar, and I bought a bunch of books, and I was just teaching myself ear training and rhythm and how to write music. And then I took classes, etc. And then I decided to apply for the conservatory of music and become a teacher. Wait, I think I got lost. What was the question?
I even though you explained how
Oh, wait.
the genesis of discovering music and doing music, I guess wanted to know the mindset where you were like, okay, I think I can do music. I don't want to
Yes,
do anything else, you
yes.
know.
I was very stubborn in that. And I not always, but once I started going through that journey, I was not so confident that I had a talent, actually. I thought I had some talent, but at the same time, I had a lot of doubts of how much I needed to work to get to the level that I wanted, because I was putting together a band with professional musicians. So I was always comparing myself to them. They always knew their solos came effortless. They didn't get lost in the form. Everything was, they had training, and I was I had to gain all that. So I was constantly thinking that I was not good enough, but come on, keep on going, and recording my concerts and then listening to them and suffering through like, oh no, I was not so good here or there, or trying to analyze. So I don't know if I thought I was good anymore, but I was just stubborn to keep on going and learn and be better and have some fun too. So I went to school because I wanted to learn more. And I also thought I can make a living being a teacher, because in Switzerland, music teachers could work 3 or 4 times a week and then have the rest of the time to dedicate to their music or to their groups and bands. So I thought this is a good thing. I learn a lot, and then I can use it to make a living on it. And so I went to music school and kept on having bands, and it was very intense, but it was fun, Europe. And then I started to get acclimed and get used and build a niche, a community. And that's when I came here. So I had to start all over again. And that's another chapter of my life. So, yeah.
Yeah, I really loved what you said right there, that you had built a community, and then when you came here, that you kind of had to start over again. And
Everything.
I feel like musicians do well when there's a sense of community, not just necessarily a business network, but just in a way musical friends helping
Yeah.
each other, going to each other's shows, share, and I guess this day and age sharing their each other's posts on social media. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I've heard stories from people of having kind of negative experiences and being in kind of like these cutthroat, competitive, feuds with other artists, and
Oh,
I just think that's such a shame. Things don't have to be that way, and you know, you if you find a similar artist, I mean, you can play shows together. You can have, you know, a
exactly.
community of even fans who like the similar type of music. It can all be such a positive thing, and that's what I've kind of grown to appreciate more and more every
Yeah.
year, how important community is. It's for me, it's not just networking, making
Oh no, no,
contacts,
no.
Exchanging business cards. Well,
Nurturing.
we don't do
Yeah.
business cards as much nowadays anyway, but it's, you know, providing value and being sincere about, you know,
Yes.
who you work
Yes.
with. Yeah, so
Yeah. Yeah.
that's great.
When I say community, actually, it goes beyond the musicians. It was a community of friends that supported me, that invited me to perform at venues that they organized. A lot of things going on, you know,
Hmm.
resources and feeling students, feeling that I provided value to the community or that I was bringing something, and that keeps me together or keeps us together, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
for
here it
yeah.
was very hard.
Oh yeah, I mean, I can imagine, you know, when you said that you went from Argentina to
Mhm.
Switzerland, just such a huge cultural difference.
Yeah, that
Even though
was a
you might
shock.
have felt more free artistically,
Mhm.
you know, you must have been a bit homesick.
Oh
I
yeah,
guess you
especially
found
the beginning. Yes.
was
Yeah.
did the arts play a pivotal role in terms of like comfort and healing for you in Switzerland?
Oh yes, definitely. Yes, a lot. And I think that's why I started to sing music that connected me to my roots, to Argentina music and South
Mm.
American music, because then I would have to learn the songs and I would have to find people that um, I don't know if I did it on purpose, but I think that they kind of helped me feel connected to something that my identity, if you call it that way, yeah, who I
Hmm.
was, and yeah, it was important. Yes.
And so we know that you started off in theater, musical theater, and singing. So
Mhm.
when did you start composing? Was that in Switzerland?
A little bit. Uh, yes, especially when I was in music school and I had composition classes, then I would have to do assignments and compose songs and arrange songs. And then I found myself also writing lyrics and realized that I had a talent. I don't want to brag about me, but yeah, I realized that
Mm-hmm.
composing music was something that I could do uh, pretty good. Actually, writing, I never wrote songs before, but I was always writing. Growing up, I used to write poems or I kept a diary where I wrote my daily impressions.
Mm-hmm.
So writing was something there. And then when the technical musical thing came along in music school with all the learning harmonies and piano and so on, then I started to put it together. Yeah.
Oh.
And then when I moved here and I had so much time in my hands because I didn't have work, I didn't have many things to do. I was in the home all the time. So I started to compose and write songs and then I thought I want to have an album.